Hey everyone, it's Alicia from Ambi, and I'd like to welcome you to our interview with Highs. Hey everybody.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. We are now at WayHome. It is the debut of WayHome here in Ontario. I know that we at the Ambi family are having an awesome time. So how's your experience been? Because I know I've seen you around the past couple of days.
It's been great. I mean, everyone's so thoughtful and so accommodating. So we've been like hanging out like in the artist area and around. And we actually been camping here, so we've kind of gotten the whole festival experience. So it's been some 4 a.m. nights and 7 a.m. mornings, but it's really been really great. Yeah, it's been really fun.
How's the camping for you? Because I know some people, they're all over the place with that.
I think it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Quite hot, but
No joke.
it's been a really really fun, good sense of community. It brings everyone together and feels really great.
It was funny. We actually were when we first got here, we were walking to see some friends in a different campsite, and like one of the first kind of little nooks, I'd say, just had like, it was just obliterated, and this was like within the first like hour. Just there were like red plastic cups everywhere, a table like thrown over, garbage everywhere, and it was just like a car was flipped. There might have been a fire. I don't know.
Yeah. Just when you think the party stopped over on the campgrounds,
yeah,
it's like a whole other.
Yeah. So
like I remember wrapping up Neil Young and then catching some electronic bands, and then you're like, oh, it's time for sleep. It's like 4 a.m. and someone started blasting Snoop Dogg in the media tent. It's like, oh,
classic
yay.
Snoop Dogg. I mean, yeah, just lulls you right to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I know at festivals, some bands prefer to go out and check out food trucks, others like actually checking out other artists, and some just hang out in their tents or backstage. So what's your main thing or the thing that you love to check out when you're at a festival?
We're all big, like, I think it often can go without saying, but we're all huge music fans, right? So I think if we're at a festival of this size and caliber, like, it would just be kind of wrong not to check out amazing bands, and like bands that are playing that are kind of like idols to us, and that we really value what they're doing. So I think that, I mean, usually, to be honest, for me it's like I'm very food oriented, but I've steered clear of the food trucks, and we've been checking out as many artists as possible. So
there's so many good ones to check out too.
Who have been your highlights?
We can go around.
Yeah.
Always, and Broken Social Scene yesterday, like of some of the It's also, I think we have to like be trying to play it cool and pretend like we don't know the names of everybody else and all the other bands, even though we don't actually know them. So we see them back here, and it's cool.
I know, like, it's maybe like just even like for me sitting on like I kind of was sitting back, but watching Neil Young play was just kind of, it's like, man, that's Neil Young, and he's been playing music for so long, and like just killing it for decades, and I was like, oh, my dad would be really jealous. So it was kind of fun for me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Neil Young was definitely a huge highlight. Tossing cherries, jamming out. Modest Mouse was really good. I've been a huge fan of Modest Mouse, and I haven't seen, like, it's been kind of one of those situations where I've like almost seen them, but just like something's gone wrong. So it was great to finally see them. Oh man, so many. Sylvanessa was like, I heard Mountain Men before, but like haven't heard her new project, so that was a wicked surprise. Broken Social Scene. I mean, like
Django.
Didn't they blow you away?
It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're favorites of ours, and that was just crazy.
Oh, and then
the Kendrick set was, of course, magical. I mean, you can't beat that. It's almost not even worth mentioning because it seems like in a different like.
It's like, did this really happen?
I left Kendrick's set feeling the least cool I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, watching him do his thing, I was just like shrinking, just watching him be like, this guy's the coolest human being on the planet.
I can't play music anymore.
Yeah, I quit. Festival's over, folks.
Larger than life. I actually had the pleasure of watching Kendrick from like the balcony over by the barn, and seriously, like 30,000 people all doing this, like together in unison. It was really cool.
Nice. That was probably your highlight so far.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
And how about yourself?
It's got to be Future Islands.
Oh.
Switching it up from the rest of the band?
The thing is, like,
they kill it. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can't, like, we just went around and everyone's like, oh, yeah, them. Oh, yeah. It's like, you can't really name anybody. Like, the festival's so good.
It's been so great. Nice. Well, I know that before playing festivals, you were actually over in the UK in the springtime. So how did that treat you?
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah, we met with the producer there and chatted with him a little bit, and we were just playing some shows. We got into Wales and Brighton. It was a beautiful time. We loved it. Got to stay in London for a while, so it was good, really good.
Do you notice any differences when you're playing to the North American ones compared to the ones from across the pond?
Well, let me preface this by saying I was told by a bunch of friends that that this is essentially that like crowds like to dance more there.
Yeah.
Like that a lot of the time you'll go to a show, let's say in Toronto, and maybe like I think that our shows and the people that come see us are usually they're responsive. So I don't know, but I was told that like people will just dance and like have a great time and really get into it instead of like the kind of the passive person who's enjoying it. But they're just like, even for me, I'll often like sit back and be like, oh, this is amazing, but not be like going crazy. Whereas a lot of people there like will just like be really into it. And I think with the exception of a show where we played in the basement of a taxidermy-filled men's club, it was pretty much
That is
that.
Is that probably the most bizarre place you've played?
It was
so
honestly
weird.
creepy. It was creepy.
That's so weird.
We showed up and like it's like I guess what would you call it?
Private members
A
club?
private members club, and we showed up and there's these like men in suits and this like you walk in and like the entire there's four floors or something, and it's just from top to bottom filled with just exotic taxidermy and like the creepiest. Well, I mean, if you were really into taxidermy, maybe it's not creepy, but like there's like these like 4 polar bears, a bunch of like tigers and like lions, and it's like ooh.
A giraffe coming out of the attic.
Yeah, it's just like just an animal graveyard.
As you load in, though, there's a monkey holding a gun, and that to me is like, where are we playing?
That's comforting.
What is
Like,
this?
this is the problem.
Yeah, have us back.
And
Just
on
kidding.
the music front, it's really an exciting time for you because you actually put the finishing touches on a debut record. So just tell our viewers a little bit about that because we're stoked for this.
We're stoked too. We're really excited. We worked with a producer on it, and it's been not a long time coming, but to us it feels like it's been a long time coming. And I don't know if.
Yeah, I think that like it. We've been saying this a little bit, but the songs on the record are very much like they're like our songs still, like High's songs, like generally the same people writing them and kind of some of the same vibes, but in a lot of ways they've kind of expanded and broadened the sound that we're going for. So like there's some, I think we wanted, I feel with the EP we didn't really, we kind of focus on a certain aesthetic and a certain kind of vibe, and with the album being, there's gonna be 10 songs on it, we really wanted to kind of broaden the scope of emotions that we can tap into, and considering that the album was written like 3 years after some of the songs in the EP, like we're all a bit older, have more experiences and stuff, and that plays a huge role into like the songs that are being written. So there's like I think there's a nice variety of sounds like that we're going for, and that the songs sound a lot more mature, I would say. I don't know if I can say that myself, but I feel as though they do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The EP was filled with a bunch of these upbeat, vibrant, very dancey and tropical tracks. So are those nuances being carried over onto this?
Yeah, in some ways. I think, yeah, like there's, like you're not going to listen to the album and be like, well, this is a completely different band. And like, at first, like to be honest, when we were writing the new stuff, it felt very natural. It felt like a really easy transition. And then I was like, oh, but like, what about the hyper tropical happy stuff before? And I was a little worried about it, but it's the same band. Like we're all like, we're not we have the same influences and everything. And I think that it's on the same level of like vibes and stuff, but there's just, we pushed ourselves a little more.
I feel like we poured a lot into this album and really hope it shows,
Yeah.
I heard before the interview we're getting a nice little sneak peek of it relatively soon, so just putting it out there. We're really excited for it, and on that note, that just wraps everything up. So just thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you
We're
so
excited
much.
for your set, the record, and just best of luck with everything.
Thanks so much. Thank
It's
you.
our pleasure. And remember, everyone watching, you can visit us at amusicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews and features with your favorite bands. We will see you next time.